So I just got back from seeing Chucky, Age of Ultron, and we're gonna talk about it.
You said you were gonna try to make new friends.
Buddy can connect to and control all of your Caslin products and smart home devices. Introducing your new best friend.
Child's Play is directed by Lars Klevberg, the director of the still unreleased film Polaroid. It stars Gabriel Bateman, Aubrey Plaza, and Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky, and is a remake, kind of the 1988 film Child's Play, which we also reviewed on this channel. And the gist of it is this: after a disgruntled employee removes all the safeguards on the AI of a new Buddy doll, it malfunctions and goes on a killing spree and severely misinterprets what friendship is with its new owner, Andy. There's a lot of drama going on behind the scenes of this movie involving Don Mancini and how he wasn't done with his version of the franchise before it was basically ripped away from him in order to make this remake. And while I do think it's phenomenally shitty of the studio to take his baby away from him like that, I'm not here to weigh in on politics, I'm here to talk about this movie. That being said, I'm still 100% going to support Mancini's upcoming new Chucky series on Sci-Fi, and I would suggest you all do the same. So let's talk about Child's Play 2019. It kind of rocks. It functions as a really solid standalone horror film about the dangers of smart technology in today's digital age, and it does that through the lens of a homicidal AI. Has it been done before? Yeah, but in today's society where we have literal devices like Google Home that control all of the appliances in your house, this shit is kind of closer to home than you realize. It's a very real and present fear, and this movie just takes that and runs with it in a way that's an absolute blast. Honestly, a big reason this movie works as well as it does is because of its characters. The performances across the board are just great, and they all have really good chemistry together. They're all really funny and well-written and likable. And the addition of several friends for Andy to interact with throughout really adds a lot of levity and heart that this movie needed. The kids get some really great fun moments, and it makes them all pretty memorable. There are sequences of them all running around and having fun and pranking people with Chucky before he goes off the deep end, and honestly, those are some of my favorite scenes in the movie. It really humanizes Andy and his friends and makes them all fun characters. Detective Mike and his mom are also great and have a couple really charming scenes together. It's hard to not like the characters in this movie. They're all very enjoyable, and you want to see more of them on screen. The kills in this movie are not only shockingly fun, but they are damn gory. The first major kill in the movie really shocked me, not only in terms of how gruesome it was, but also in how funny the aftermath was, and everything that follows it plays out almost like an extended comedy routine, and it's great. It's really funny. This movie functions really well as a not-so-serious slasher film, and honestly, I was here for it. Chucky gets to commit some really gruesome, fun, gnarly murders. And on the subject of Chucky, let's talk about Mark Hamill as Chucky. It's silly to try and compare his performance to Brad Dourif's, because honestly, it's apples and oranges. They're completely different characters, and comparing the two is... they're nothing alike. They're completely different characters, and we're going to treat them as such. And thus, Hamill's voice is kind of perfect for this. Chucky's a new, malfunctioning AI, and there's a lot of childlike naivete to him, and Hamill really brings this out in his performance and helps to make it shine. On top of that, the animatronic work is just stellar in this movie, and the fact that Chucky is canonically a robot this time around makes all of his weird, janky movements and facial tics feel a lot more like the robots that we see in reality. It's weird and gross and unnerving to look at, but that's kind of the point. Have you seen robots that they put human skin on? It's horrifying. Honestly, as a movie about a homicidal AI and the dangers of smart technology, this movie works. It stands completely on its own, and it does a really damn good job, to the point where it doesn't need the Child's Play brand recognition as a crutch. So let's talk about the fact that this movie is called Child's Play, because it isn't. Nothing about this movie is Child's Play, nor should it be. There's no weird voodoo magic or serial killer soul transfers. It's just a movie about a homicidal AI, and honestly, that's fine. There's no reason for this movie to be called Child's Play. There's no reason for the doll to be named Chucky or look like Chucky, aside from cashing in on brand recognition and trying to get asses in seats solely based on the IP. It's so clearly a studio decision in hopes of cashing in on brand recognition and making money, and it's not necessary. And it's a shame, because I honestly think this movie is more than fine without it. In fact, attaching the Child's Play brand to this movie kind of bogs it down in a way, because it makes it feel like this movie is trying to bend over backwards to fit that mold when it doesn't need to. It's forcing your brain to make comparisons that don't need to be made. It's like if you have a broom and then you replace the brush and then you replace the handle, is it even the same broom anymore? I'm all for remakes doing something different. Hell, Suspiria 2018 is one of my favorite films ever. But can you even call a film a remake anymore if every single thing about it is fundamentally different outside of the appearance of a character? Honestly, aside from that, my only other negatives are really nitpicks. There's no reason for Andy to be hearing impaired. Nothing comes of it, aside from one really cool, albeit very brief scene where Chucky talks to Andy through his hearing aid. Aubrey Plaza is phenomenally miscast here. I mean, she's a fantastic actress, but I cannot buy her as a single mother. I just can't. It's like Daniel Radcliffe in The Woman in Black. I don't see it. Some castings just don't fit the role. Aside from all those little things, though, and the mistake of trying to fit it into the Child's Play mold, I kind of loved this movie. It's a ton of fun, and honestly, if you can emotionally divorce yourself from the Dourif and Mancini universe, I think you'll have a good time with this movie. I'm gonna say that Child's Play is solid. It's a shame they felt the need to try and capitalize on an existing franchise, because I stand by my statements that the movie would have been just as good, if not better, if they didn't. It would have been able to just be its own thing and stand on its own, and there would have been no issue. Still, I'd recommend checking it out if you want a gory, fun time at the movies, especially if you're a fan of old-school slasher films with a modern twist. Check it out. I think you'll like it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, click down there, like, comment, subscribe. There's a Patreon link down in the description, and if you want to help this channel grow and make new, better quality content for you all to enjoy, consider donating. Even $1 would help. You could be like all of these cool people right here. I would very much appreciate it. But even if you don't, thank you so much for watching anyway, and I will see you all very soon.
Good night, Andy.